Has it been a long, cold winter? Have you spent too much time on the couch, Netflix and chill? Well, it's time to break out of that habit. It's time to think big. It's time to feel healthy, to feel young, to feel like you did when you were in high school.
I'm young again.
Hi, I'm retired professional triathlete, CEO of Diamond Bikes, TJ Tollakson, and today we are going to talk about what it takes to go from the couch to triathlon. I'm going to go through the steps that it takes to get you there because it's achievable for anybody. Anybody out there can go from a sedentary lifestyle to becoming a triathlete.
When do we start?
So, the first thing we're going to talk about is the time. What kind of time does this take if I go from sitting on the couch for months or years to be able to finish a sprint triathlon? Well, okay, before we do that, let's talk about what a sprint triathlon is. Sprint triathlon, typically somewhere between 300 to 750 meter or yard swim, somewhere between a 10 and a 15 mile bike ride, and somewhere between 2 and 4 miles of running, oftentimes a 5K, 3.1 miles. What's it take in time, duration, how many weeks or months am I going to take to get from laying on the couch, sedentary, expert on the latest Netflix shows to, yes, I am Ironman, a triathlete? Well, the kind of minimum amount of time is about 12 weeks, and that's fairly aggressive, okay? I'd like to see a 16-week program, and I realize, yes, 16 weeks, that's like 4 months of training.
I don't have time for that.
But guess what? It's March. We've got good time. We can make this happen and still do a triathlon this year if we get serious about this. So now that we know that's kind of the time period involved in this, let's talk about the gear that's involved with this. Well, we'll start with the swim. You need a swimsuit, goggles, and a cap, and then someplace to swim. And I would say that there is an advantage. If you can swim in open water, you should, because most likely your triathlon will not have a pool swim, although some do. So if you're training for a pool swim, you don't need to go open water swim. But if you're open water swimming, I do recommend trying that out. So that's the gear you need for the swim. The bike. You need a bike and a helmet.
That's easy!
Do you need bike shoes? No, you don't need those. Do you need a diamond bike? No, you don't need that. Do you need an aero helmet? Do you need sunglasses? Do you need gloves? No, you don't need any of that. Do those things help? Yes, especially the diamond bike. It'll make you a lot faster. But you don't need that yet. You don't need that now. You need a bike that works and a helmet.
Not necessarily in that order.
That's it. Okay? On to the run. What do you need for the run? Pair of running shoes. Now, this is really important because if you've been on the couch not doing anything, you need a real pair of running shoes. I do not recommend just putting on a 10-year-old pair of sneakers that you used to run in a long time ago and starting to try to run. Go to a running store, talk to them about what you're trying to do, have them watch you run to make sure that you're not making any mistakes in purchasing shoes. And there you go, there you have this. It's really important that you go from sedentary to exercise because it's what you want. You actually crave this inside. Your body wants to move and be active. You can do it. I can help. So we know the gear that we need. Most of that really easy to find. The running shoes are probably the most expensive thing on that list. Okay, a bike, shoot, can you go find $100 or a $50 bike at a garage sale and ride it for your first triathlon? Yes, absolutely. A lot of people say running's the cheapest. In this scenario here, running would actually be the most expensive. You could have the most money wrapped up into a pair of running shoes than you do in swim gear, bike gear, combined actually. So that being said, that's the gear that you need. We kind of know the time. There's a lot involved with this though, right? So my recommendation, if you're just getting started, start really slow, and we'll talk about the swim. I recommend that you work out 6 days a week. Your body will thank you for this. Yes, you will be sore. The nice thing about triathlon is that it's 3 sports, so you can go on a 6-day per week schedule working out, take the 7th day off, and it can be just like this. Swim one day, bike the next, run the next. Swim one day, bike the next, run the next, day off. Repeat. Rinse and repeat over and over. You can do that. What should your swims look like when you first start? Well, you should get in and you should try to swim for at least 5 minutes and shoot between that 5 to 15 minute mark on your first day. Now, you don't want to overdo it so hard that you can't do anything, but if it's been a long time, just get in, swim.
Got it.
So that's day 1, you get in, you swim, and then you should look at every successive week, you should try to add 1 to 2 minutes to the amount of time you're swimming, or you can look at it in terms of laps and say if my first day I had the goal of swimming 10 laps or 10 lengths, that I can add 10% to that every week. So if I did 10 laps, the next week I'd do 11 laps. You get the idea. I think you know how to do math.
Right.
The bike portion, same thing. If you're out on your bike, I suggest, because biking's a little bit easier on you, that you start with at least a 20-minute bike ride. It's really not that far. It's not that hard. It's not that long. You can just get on your bike, out your front door, and start riding. If you're going to skip any one of them at this point because the weather is nasty and bad and you can't figure out how to do it, the bike's going to be the one to skip. So, on to the run training. Run training, really important. I have this program that I've used over and over. I've had numerous surgeries. I've come back from months of not exercising, and I use the same run program. You start with a 20-minute run, but you don't run.
Okay, you heard the man.
Okay, so for the entire first 2 weeks of this program,
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
you are going to jog a single minute and walk 4 minutes. You're gonna do it the other way though. You're gonna walk first. So you're gonna start out, start your timer, you're gonna go walk for 4 minutes, and then you're gonna jog 1 minute, and you're going to repeat that 4 times. So to start out with, you're going to jog a total of 4 minutes, each interval of 1 minute broken up by 4 minutes of walking. So, hey, we got a special guest in the house here right now, Steve Phelan. Steve Phelan, have you ever done this run program?
I have, yeah.
A 4-minute walk, 1 minute jog, and it works, right?
It works.
You can do it, right? So Steve, you ran a 5K last year, right? Doing this same program, right? And you lost a lot of weight. How much weight did you lose last year?
40 pounds.
40 pounds. We got this in you. We're gonna see a special return from couch to triathlon now. We got the triathlon in the future.
I know.
He doubts it. He says he doubts it. Well, we're gonna keep pushing because he's gonna watch this YouTube video when we're all done, and he's gonna be motivated and inspired and say, you know what? I can be a triathlete. I'm gonna do it. So, you start out, the first 2 weeks, you're gonna jog a total of 2 times per week. You're just gonna do 4 minutes of jogging. After that 2-week period, you're gonna add another minute to that. So on week 3, you're gonna start out and you're going to walk 3 minutes, jog 2. Repeat that 4 times, so you're gonna go from jogging a 4-minute period to an 8-minute period. And then you're gonna do that for 2 weeks. You will progress all the way, so you will do 1 minute, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 1 minute, and then you go straight 20-minute jog. Okay, so 20-minute jog. But that's after you've already gone through 8 weeks of doing this walk-jog program. And so I can guarantee you, if you've not jogged or run, unless someone was chasing you for many years, it will hurt. You will hurt. 1 minute does not seem like a long time until you start running for 1 minute because you have not done it for years. It will hurt. Keep going. You can get through this. It's only a minute, and then you're gonna rest for 4 minutes and start over again. Okay, so this is the run progression plan. Once you get to that 20-minute run, through the rest of the program, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna progress 10% every 2 weeks. But in reality, once you've run 20 minutes, you can, regardless of how slow you're going, you can easily run a 5K in an event. And at that 12-week period, 16-week or 20-week period, you will be running a couple times a week. You will feel much better about yourself, and you will notice huge improvements. So, that being said, weight loss. You heard Steve talk about his weight loss journey. He lost about 40 pounds. Losing weight, if you're overweight, is a healthy thing to do. Physical activity is good for all of us. Triathlon training happens to be one of the best ways to do it because it divides what we're doing into multiple sports. So the risk of overuse injuries becomes much smaller by dividing it up, just like I said. So, lose weight. If you're a guy like Steve, Steve, how tall are you? 6'1", and you were about 300 pounds. He was about 300 pounds. If you're that big of a dude, you can be really aggressive. Steve was losing like 5 pounds a week doing this. Not every week, but most weeks he was losing about 5 pounds. Exercising and on a very good, healthy diet, not overly restrictive. Steve had 1 day off where he was eating whatever he wanted, but the other 6 days he was focusing really on eating quality foods, lean protein sources, a huge amount of vegetables, and just becoming healthy with his food choices. Most people should try to aim at 2 pounds per week for weight loss, and I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but over the 12-week period before you can start the triathlon, that's 24 pounds. Okay, you look at where you are and you said, man, would I feel a lot better if I was 24 pounds lighter? Well, obviously, if you don't have 24 pounds to lose, don't aim for that. But if you're more than 24 pounds overweight, yes, you can do that in a 12-week period. You will feel amazing after you do it. You will have much more confidence.
Hello, ladies.
And you will be a triathlete at the end of this program. So, there are days where this will seem hard. Keep going forward. There will be days when you have a million excuses, because we all have excuses. You'll say, oh, I was too busy, I was too tired, I had this, I had that. Stop making excuses about this. Make it a priority in your life. Work your life around the rest of this, because the truth is, if you don't make it a priority for your health, nobody else is going to make that a priority for you. And so you will suffer the consequences, but so will everybody else who's around you. The people you work with, the people in your family, your friends will all suffer because you failed to make fitness a priority in your life. So do yourself a favor. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Get off your couch. Start doing this 1 day at a time. And if it gets hard, if you get something in the way, make it a priority. And the other side, if you get off track, if you miss a day, if you skip something, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't try to make it up the next day. Just move on to what you were supposed to do and keep moving forward. Stop dwelling on the past, because like Rafiki says, it doesn't matter. It was in the past.
Ow! Jeez, what was that for? It doesn't matter. It's in the past.
So, that's my best advice on how to go from sedentary couch, Netflix and chill, to triathlete. Yes, you can be a triathlete.